Welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. My name's Mike, and today we're going to be doing a fantastic recipe, one of my favorites. It's called Bolognese sauce. Before we start, let me tell you what's in the recipe. We have a pound of lean ground beef, a pound of ground pork. We're going to be using some Alta Cucina plum tomatoes. We have about 4 cups. And I also have some paste. We're going to add some paste in. And we're going to use onion, garlic, carrot, celery, and a little basil. We're going to add some red wine. And of course, you know, we're going to start off with some olive oil and butter. And, you know, just know this, everything that I use here will be in the description. You'll get the whole recipe at the end. So, for this step, I'm going to show you how I cut up all my veggies. If you want to skip it, that's fine, but I want you to learn how I cut up my carrots and my celery and my bell pepper. I think it's really important. So come on over and see how I do this. Okay, to start with the carrot, we'll go ahead and cut it in half because the tip end's kind of small. So we'll cut it in 4s like that, see? And here we go. This is what I want you to see, how small those little pieces are. That's what we're looking for the Bolognese sauce. As you come up the carrot and it gets larger, you can slice it a little bit more so that the pieces stay small. When I cut my celery, I usually do cut the big wide piece off at the bottom. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I do want my celery to be cut a little bit thinner. So notice how I am cutting them in 3 pieces. Then I'll flip it over, squeeze them together, and now notice how the celery now has a finer chop, and that's the texture that I'm looking for my Bolognese sauce. For my bell pepper, I cut it in half and a little slice on each side and peel this back, and that's the only thing I'm throwing away. I'll get rid of the seeds and go ahead and hold it and cut it from the middle out like this. Seems to cut a lot easier. Then bring those together and just cross cut it, and be careful to keep your fingers out of the way. Once you get this bell pepper cross cut, you can come and just chop it a little bit finer. Cutting up the garlic, I prefer to come in here and cut it twice. There's the big bend. Watch this. I prefer to cut it 1, 2, maybe 3 times if it's large enough, and then come across, and that's how I would cut my garlic, like that. Now, let me go on to show you. Bring those pieces together and then rock your knife, holding the tip down on the board, and just rock that knife and walk it over the garlic like that. And now you have minced garlic, and that's what I'm looking for. Now the onion's a little tricky. This is a Vidalia onion. It's not quite as round. It's kind of a long, like a flat pancake looking thing. So you want to be careful. You want to cut it in half, and then don't let your knife go all the way through. Just cut it down like this, and then carefully slice into it. Try not to use the forced chopping, because if it slips, you might find the knife on top of your finger. So just be careful and slice it, and then flip it over and cut it the rest of the way while it's flat. Last, I'm going to show you how I cut up my fresh basil. So we grew these in the garden. They're still growing, making more. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of it. Okay, so I generally just stack the leaves and then roll them up tight like that. And then just come in here and slice with a sharp knife. Try to make fine little slices. That's pretty much all you need to do. But if you want it a little finer than that, then come over here and just cut it like that. And that's all you need to do. Let me go ahead and start off by putting some butter in here. Put in my olive oil, turn my heat up. So we'll get the butter melted. Okay, coming along just fine. Now all of the veggies that I cut up are going to go in. This is about a 7-quart skillet that has high sides. And it has a lid too, so you can cover it and simmer later. And that's why I like this skillet. So we'll be using this one for this recipe. So everything I cut, we have onions, celery, carrot, and garlic, and all of that is going to, and the red bell pepper. And all of this is going to saute for probably around 10 minutes. Add in some salt. This is kosher salt. This is going to help the veggies sweat down. I want it to get real soft. Then we'll put the meat in. So that's my next step. The veggies have been simmering for several minutes. I don't know exactly. I'm just going by the way it looks. I like the way they look. They're very soft. And so I'm going to go ahead and add in a cup of red wine. Alrighty, I'm going to stir that around a little bit. Now, I want that red wine to reduce a little bit. And it smells wonderful. And as all that steam comes off, that red wine's going to reduce. So we'll give that a couple of minutes. I have the fire on high. And then we're going to put in all of the meat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add my pork. And we'll add the beef in as well. Okay. I'm just going to continue chopping away at the meat until I can get it all broken up, and then I'm going to continue folding the veggies into the meat. And now this is a long step. So this is going to take a little while, but you definitely want to keep chopping the meat up and folding it into the veggies. And then we'll show you how it looks later. It's going to brown off. Now it's not going to really be literally brown. It'll be kind of gray, you know, gray looking, but we want to get the meat cooked before we add in the plum tomatoes and the paste. So we're just going to keep chopping, keep stirring, keep folding everything in, and then I'll turn the cameras back on and I'll show you what we do next. So come check this out. The meat, all the pork and the beef are pretty well cooked. I mean, it's going to cook for like another 2 hours anyway, right? But it's all incorporated in with the veggies. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the plum tomatoes. This is 4 cups. And if you're one of those people that likes to stick your fingers in there and squeeze them, hey, go right ahead. I'm just going to chop them up and fold them in. And you won't hardly see them 2 hours from now. All right, now I'm going to add in a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. At this point, I'm going to add in my basil. Oh man, I love that fresh basil. It smells so good. Now I'm going to mix all that together. I still have my fire on high. Now we need to put in some seasonings, okay? I think we'll go ahead and put in the tarragon first. About a teaspoon. I'm going to add in this Italian herb blend. I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of that. We'll turn the fire down a little bit. Now I am going to adjust the salt flavor a little later. I just want this to blend up and cook together a little while. And we need to simmer this for a couple of hours. At least 1 hour. I mean, if you're hungry and you can't go past an hour, fine, I get it. But, you know, go 2 hours if you can. Low simmer. Take your time. Enjoy the journey. And this is looking really, really good. So at this point, we're going to put this on the back stove, put the lid on, and simmer it for at least an hour. And then we'll check it. Now, I am going to continue to stir about every 5 minutes because I just don't want it all to sit there and fall down to the bottom and burn, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see you back in about an hour. Man, check this out. It is so, I mean, it looks so good. It's so red and beautiful, and it smells wonderful, and I tasted it. It does taste really, really good. But you know, there's a couple more things we need to put in. So first thing we'll do is add in some Parmesan cheese. Look, how much is that? A couple of handfuls. But I will measure this. We're going to add in about a cup of cream. And let's fold that in. Hey, we want it to be creamy. It's a Bolognese sauce. So we'll fold in the cup of cream. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so here's where we are. At this point, I would say maybe simmer it for another half hour. It's already been simmering for like an hour and a half, but the meat is tender, and if you can't wait, don't worry about it. Eat it. If you can, let it simmer. Take care of it. The longer it cooks, the more tender the meat gets, and the veggies just about disappear. But I'm telling you right now, this is so good. So let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to go get another skillet, and we're going to put a plate together. You're going to love how this works. All right, turn the fire off, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, this is how I serve it up. We're going to take our pasta, put some sauce in with it. Okay, not too much. We're going to come over here and heat it up. Okay. All right. Just heat that up a little bit. Give it a swirl. Make sure it's all nice and hot. Look at that, how pretty. Put that on the plate. Give it a little turn as you release it. Look at that, huh? Isn't that pretty? Maybe a little bit more. Look at that, how pretty. See how it piles up in the middle? And now, just add a little bit of sauce on top. Like that. And that, my friends, is an Italian Bolognese sauce with linguine pasta. You're gonna love this. Man, I can't wait to dig into this rascal. Man, twirl a little bit of that around, get some of that meat on there, some pasta. Ooh, look how nice that looks. Mmm. 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 No, serious. That is really, really good. My friends, I'm telling you, this Bolognese sauce is outstanding. All the ingredients and the instructions are going to be right there in the description for you. Go get it. Make this sauce. It is wonderful. Don't overcook your pasta. I'll be watching if you do. Anyway, you want it a little al dente. So go ahead, make this, and give me a comment. Let me know how you like it, okay? Let me know if you do anything different. I want to know. Hey, listen, also, if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. We really want your subscription. And hit the notification bell. That way you know when we come out with all our new videos. So have a great, fantastic weekend. Serve your family up some Bolognese sauce with some great pasta. It doesn't matter what kind you use. And let me know how you like it. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Sanders Kitchen, and God bless you.